Hello everyone, I'm back out on the Triumph. Got the three sides plug welded. All in all, things went real well. Got the bottom of the rear body mount reattached on both sides. See, everything's ground up real nice. After I get all of this done, I'm going to send her back out in the yard and sandblast all these areas and get them prepped up and put another coat of epoxy primer on, and then we can do the seam work. See, the inside's all nice. Welds went in good. Really not any distortion on the edges, so it's not going to take much work to make that look nice. Today's project's going to be reattaching this corner piece and spot welding this rear seam. Should make things all better. Yep, all ready to start finishing up the trunk floor. Doing a little dolly work here. Got it clamped in. See if I can't get the things to fit a little nicer. All in all, for a reproduction part, the trunk floor fit pretty well. I can't really complain. There's spot welder in hand. I do really like this tool. I think it's Harbor Freight. It's well worth, I don't know, I think $130 that I paid for it on sale or with a coupon. It's a nice job, but for a raggedy, gray-haired old man, that is a heavy piece of equipment to hang out there on the end of my arms. But it's worth it. At the last minute, I remembered those two holes that are supposed to be in the drip rail there that I had welded up on Tim's car. So I stopped and put a little mark tape on them so that I wouldn't get a spot weld half on the edge. And in true Triumph fashion, I am putting lots of spot welds in it. That's the way that it came, and it does support the weight of the tire, and who knows how many cleaning supplies that will be back there for the car shows. Tim fussed at me for not making videos of the other three sides or two sides of the panel when I welded it in. I told him that I figured you guys had seen me making welding sparks and grinding sparks. But he said he liked watching that. I think that's just because it was somebody else making the sparks and not him. So I went ahead and gave him lots of sparks on this one. And the seam is all spot welded up. Lots of really nice spot welds. It looks real good. Tiny little bit of dressing and it's good to go. Inside's good. I did weld over the two little holes that I haven't drilled yet that are there. and ready for the next project. I had forgotten that I had made a template for this rusty area around the backup light, and I've been watching some videos, and there was a nice gentleman that had a technique that I wanted to try. So basically you put the panel over the existing panel and then cut around it, but you only cut it a short ways at a time, and then push in until the panels align and tack them, cut a little farther, and the metal tends to conform to what the original piece was. And even though it took me a while, I went slow. I'm going to continue with this. I'm going to try it, I think, on the doors when I fix the bottoms of them. Use the power hacksaw that leaves a small cut. Got it all clamped in place. A couple of tacks. Lots of studying. And more cuts. In case any of you are wondering, as I grabbed the MIG gun and I usually find a place and strike it, I'm doing a couple things. By running the wire out, it gets gas to the end of the nozzle, which puts out too much wire. And then when I cut it off, it doesn't have as big a ball on the end, and the wire is hot, so it snaps in there on those little spot welds a little quicker. It's just a technique that I've developed over the years, and I don't know if it's proper or not, but it works for me. I tried the power saw and it just wasn't getting in there since I didn't have a starting place. So I broke out the cutoff wheel. It doesn't care where you start. And continuing to cut along the edge of the new panel and through the panel, the original panel that's underneath. And then as I stitch it together, trying not to weld the original panel to the new panel. And a little extra cutting along the edges. It's all tacked into place now. And reach around behind and remove the original rusty piece of metal. Now it's just a matter of stitch welding it in, preparing to grind. With any luck, I should have a seamless finish when it's done. And of course you can't have welding without grinding. Got back to the Rolox, I went back and got a fresh one. Good, nice sharp discs, level the metal more than round the weld. A little bit of dressing up on the back side. I found a little pinhole. And here it is. Nice in there, metal finished, ready for the light. This is the panel that I had made a couple weeks ago. A few of the self-tapping screws to hold it in place. And a little bit of real-time welding just to throw some sparks. And those screws are hot. It's the leather glove on the my other hand. Didn't take me long to figure that out. And as before, you weld, you grind. This area was a nice area. I got to use all sorts of tools. A couple different grinders, a die grinder, and the little Rolox. Man's got to use all of his tools at every opportunity. Well, this is pretty much a day's work. Got my little panel in. Got this little rusty hole all taken care of, ready for the backup light. Got a little bit of damage here. Got a couple of pinholes down in here to take care of. Just like a little hole there. I think after I get those, I'll go over it real thoroughly, or partially thoroughly, because I'm sure we'll find something else. And see about getting this thing outside and get it sandblasted. I'd sure like to get this all in primer, get a layer of seam sealer down, and be able to say that a little progress has been made. Once again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll catch you on the next installment.